Okay, hardcore wrestling fans, right now we're going to have a big tag team grudge match coming up. You already see him in the ring. He's Big Sonny T. Referee Star Stevens about to enter the ring. And now you see the gentleman Rick Thames. Together these guys are the Southern Posse. And you see Rick playing his harmonica for the fans here at ringside. Some seem to like it, some seem to hate it, but he plays it nonetheless. These guys are former IPW tag team champions. And Ron, anyone who knows business here in Florida knows you go way, way back with the Southern Posse.
The history of the hardcore giant Ron Nemi and the Southern Posse runs 10 years deep. They are the most hardcore, brutal tag team in the history of wrestling as far as I'm concerned. I've managed them. I've managed against them. As a matter of fact, I wrestled a match with Mike Shane against the Southern Posse, and I got destroyed. I got put through a table wrapped in barbed wire. I had that cowbell knocked upside my head about 3 times. I bled like a stud. To be honest, I was proud to be in there with these veterans.
I remember that match, Ron. You were actually tag team partners with one of the Shanes, if I remember correctly. Your own trickiness kind of backfired on you there. But they have a tough test tonight. We saw these guys earlier. They are Agent Steele and Yasser Arafat Jr., together known as Quickiemart, one of the quickly most popular tag teams here in IPW. Not only popular, but I can't remember the last time these two guys lost a match clean, to tell you the truth, Ron.
They've been on a roll in IPW. They are hot. The fans are behind them big time. They got Mark Zout, known as Quickie Mark when he's at ringside with Quickiemart. He is easily one of the most popular characters in IPW. This match should be unbelievable.
Yes, these three very popular, but that's not going to do them a whole lot of good inside the squared circle with the very, very tough, very, very stiff Rick Thames and the ever dangerous Sonny T.
That's not a sweater that Sonny T is wearing in the ring, by the way. When you see Sonny T coming in the ring, you may think it's the long-lost brother of Sasquatch, the one known as Bigfoot. But the truth of the matter is, he's one of the hairiest, one of the ugliest, and one of the meanest guys in wrestling. That is next to his partner, Rick Thames.
That's true. Sonny always elicits the shave your back chants from the fans, but over the years he's done a pretty good job of ignoring them and taking out his frustration by punishing their opponents.
You know, everybody likes to talk about the brutality and violence when it comes to the Southern Posse. I like to talk about the brutality and violence. These guys can wrestle. Rick Thames and Sonny T were trained by the great Malenko. They're great chain wrestlers. They can go toe-to-toe. They'll bleed till the end of time. They can do anything. They are great professional wrestlers, great entertainers. They've been to Puerto Rico, Japan. They've wrestled for all the major corporations, companies, all the way down to the bottom barrel flea market groups. They don't care. They like to fight, and they like to get paid for it.
That's a very good point you bring up there, Rod, because the hardcore and IPW hardcore wrestling doesn't just stand for blood and guts. It doesn't just stand for chairs and tables. It means hardcore in every aspect of the word, which means old school training, which means you can wrestle, which means with or without a weapon, you can go toe-to-toe for 30 minutes and beat the hell out of your opponent and have a beer with him later on that night. We are IPW hardcore wrestling, and that means so much more than people give it credit for.
These wrestlers aren't weekend warriors, Aaron. They're not the type of guys that come in there, want to roll around for a few minutes, get some garbage payday, and then go home and say, hey, I'm a wrestler, look at me. These guys eat, sleep, and live professional wrestling. They train daily. They're constantly going at it. They're elevating talent. Look at the fist drop.
Steele off the top rope. These two teams are very reminiscent of the 80s tag teams and what you've seen lately from some of the WWF teams like the Hardys, Edge, and Christian. Double team maneuvers, which used to be a staple in tag team wrestling. It got lost for a while, but it's coming back out of IPW in the form of Quickiemart. Nice double boots to the top of the head of Agent Steele.
Agent Steele can take punishment. Unbelievable kick to the small of the back. Agent Steele could take punishment like none other when it comes to the young competitors of IPW hardcore. He is a product of the Florida WrestlePlex, the best wrestling school in the business
Sonny
today.
T with the cowbell and rope, choking him out in the corner. Now that's some old school tag team wrestling.
They'll do what it takes to win. They don't care. It might be a cliche. Star Stevens, why is it that every single referee falls for this? How many? Do you think if they've ever watched wrestling on TV, they'd understand that that's what we call the false tag? And they're missing something going on behind their back, Aaron?
Yeah, you would think so, but I think when they taught that class, Star was fixing his teeth. Here we go. Rick Thames, the former hardcore champion, putting the clubber in, as Dusty Rhodes might say, onto Agent Steele. They've done a very good job of keeping Yasser Arafat out of this match and just working on one of their opponents. If you can take away one of your two opponents, you're doing your job.
Oh, jeez.
Nice back kick by Rick Thames there. Let me tell you, he's feeling that now. I'll tell you what.
He's feeling it for at least 2 to 3 weeks after. That is unbelievable. Rick Thames, unbelievably and deceptively agile and quick, like a cat, if you will.
All right, here we go. Some stalling techniques by the old school Posse down on the mat. Star Stevens checking for a chokehold, but I think he's just got the headlock in there. And Yasser, Arafat, and Mark's out trying to get the crowd into it.
These guys are so over, it's ridiculous. I guarantee you, they alone could pack the WrestlePlex. It's unbelievable how these kids have been elevated in IPW. Beautiful sunset flip. This could be it.
Nope, he kicks out. You are right, Ron. The young guys really do pack the place down. They have lots of friends in the area, lots of fans that have come from that. These young guys, along with Mark Zout, along with Sage and Aki, and unfortunately, even along with the turncoat Rod Steele, they all have many, many fans both across the internet on our website, which you can visit at ipw-hardcore.com. Just all over the area, these guys are very popular. They're going places here in IPW.
You can see all 4 of these competitors and Star Stevens and Mark Zout at Frankie's in Ybor on September 5th. It's going to be a tremendous show. It's going to be hardcore. It's going to be violent. The Quickiemart, they are unbelievable. You think what you see on TV is good when it comes to Quickiemart? Oh my God. Yasser Arafat just takes a shot from Rick. You don't seem to like that, Aaron.
That's what you get for trying to drink a slushie at ringside. You need to pay attention when you're going up against anybody, but much less the Southern Posse. You may be popular, Yasser, but that wasn't very smart.
I might just not be understanding.
Nice cross body there, but the
block.
referee's nowhere to be found. He shouldn't fall for that either, should he?
Star falls for pretty much everything that you learn in refereeing 101. Unbelievable.
Well, he did learn at the NWA School of Referees.
Well, that explains that. A cowbell to the
head
by
nowhere.
Oh my God. That's it.
1, 2, 3, and Quickiemart gets the win. That is a big, big win for Quickiemart.
That's a huge win.
Probably their biggest win to date. But let's not forget, coming up September the 5th, Frankie's Ybor, they will be meeting your boys, the Shane Twins.
It has already been signed. The Shane brothers against IPW Tag Team Champion Quickiemart get their shot on September 5th.
Should be good, fans. Make sure to be there.
It's going to be unbelievable.